So today we're doing something a little different. We're stepping away from the usual data and reports to listen to something, well, something raw and profound. We're diving into the unfiltered wisdom from a 92-year-old man named Frank, sharing what he sees from the very edge of his life. Right away, Frank sets a scene that, well, few of us can even imagine. He says, "I have outlived my wife, I have outlived my friends, I have outlived my enemies." Think about that. Standing right at the cliff's edge gives him this piercing clarity about what actually matters.
And this is his opening shot, his message to all of us. And it's a confrontational one. Now hold on, this isn't meant to be an insult. It's a wake-up call. And the lie he's talking about, well, it's one most of us tell ourselves every single day. He calls this the delusion of time. And he says it's our most dangerous assumption. We treat our days like they're cheap, like we have this endless supply in the bank. Frank's here to tell us we're broke. And to really shatter this delusion, to make us feel it, he tells this story. And honestly, it's absolutely gut-wrenching.
So to really dig into this delusion of time, Frank tells the story of his best friend, Jack. And it's a powerful, cautionary tale about how this mindset can rob you of your life while you're still breathing.
Now, Jack's mindset, it's probably going to sound familiar to a lot of you. He was smart, successful, and he had a plan. He believed he could put life on layaway. Just grind for 5 more years, sacrifice the present, and then, only then, would he finally cash in his chips and actually start living.
And I mean, he had it all mapped out, a concrete, logical roadmap to a future that, to him, felt absolutely guaranteed. He knew the number he needed to hit, he was going to take his wife to Italy, finally learn how to paint. On paper, it all made perfect sense.
So he lays out this whole 5-year plan for Frank, and just 3 days later, 3 days, Jack walked out of his office, grabbed his chest, and died of a massive heart attack. He was only 42 years old. That future he was banking on, it was just gone, erased in an instant.
And this is where Frank really hits you with the truth. The real tragedy, he says, wasn't Jack's death. I mean, we all die, right? The tragedy was that Jack spent his entire existence in a waiting room for a future that never showed up. He never saw Italy. He never even picked up a paintbrush.
Okay, so the delusion of time, that's trap number 1. But it feeds right into another one Frank warns us about, this obsession we have with empty trophies. Status, career, all that stuff.
So from where he's standing, at 92 years old, Frank has this brutally honest take on materialism. All that stuff we work so hard for, the things we use to show everyone how successful we are. To him, it's just future trash. Seriously, he says a complete stranger is eventually going to throw 90% of it into a dumpster.
And this image he uses, man, it's powerful. He says, "I have never, not once, seen a U-Haul trailer following a hearse." And when you think about it, it's just so true, isn't it? We work these insane 60-hour weeks. We miss our kids growing up, all to pay for things we absolutely cannot take with us.
And look, Frank isn't just pointing fingers here. He turns the spotlight right back on himself. He tells us about this one night, 1979, he wins the Businessman of the Year award. This was it, the peak. He felt like a king walking up to that podium, hearing all that applause. He thought he'd won the game. But what happened right after? That's what changed everything for him.
So he goes home that night, trophy in hand, and he's sitting all alone at his kitchen table. The house is quiet. And in that silence, the truth just hits him like a ton of bricks. The applause stopped. The people who clapped for him, they didn't really care about him. And the people who did care, his family, they were asleep upstairs. And he realized he'd neglected them for months just to win this piece of glass. That's when he understood. His career would never love him back. But the price he paid to win it, that was permanent.
Okay, so if the promise of later is a total lie, and if our stuff and our status are just empty traps, then what the heck actually matters? What's the real currency of a life well lived?
And Frank's answer is really simple but profound. He says at the end of it all, he doesn't replay his business deals or his big victories. You know what he replays? The small human moments. Sunday mornings with his wife, the sound of his daughter's laughter, the time he helped a total stranger on the street. That is the only wealth that actually lasts.
So Frank doesn't just diagnose the problem and leave us hanging. He actually gives us a prescription, a clear, actionable strategy for how to escape that waiting room and finally, actually start living. And his strategy? It boils down to 3 simple, but man, are they powerful, 3 pillars. Let's break them down. Okay, step 1, kill your ego. And this one is so liberating when you really get it. Think about how often we're terrified of looking foolish. We don't take risks, we don't ask that person out, we don't start the business. Why? Because we're afraid of what people will think. Frank's insight is simple. Nobody is watching you. Everyone is too busy being the main character in their own movie to be judging yours. You're just background noise to them, so just go for it.
All right, step 2 is about practicing the last time. This is a super powerful way to reframe your entire day. It's an old Stoic technique, actually. Just remind yourself that, one day you will drink your last cup of coffee. One day you will give your last hug. One day you will see your last sunset. The thing is, you just don't know when that day is. And when you remember that, you stop taking everything for granted. You really taste the coffee. You hold that hug for an extra second. It makes the ordinary feel sacred.
And finally, step 3, wake up. This is his final urgent plea to all of us. He's 92, his body is failing him. But most of us listening right now, we have the golden ticket, health and time. And what are we doing with it? We're scrolling, we're numbing ourselves. His message is to just stop, go outside, engage with the real world, feel the wind on your face, call your mom, forgive someone, let go of all that hate because you just don't have time for that kind of baggage.
And this leads to his final and honestly pretty chilling observation. He says most people never actually live. They just exist. They play it safe, they stay comfortable, and then they expire. It's the ultimate warning against being like his friend Jack, against just staying in that waiting room forever. To just exist, to just be comfortable, that's wasting the single greatest gift you will ever be given.
And that's the thought Frank leaves us with. That question. The clock is ticking. Can you hear it? And really, it's not just a question, is it? It's a call to action. He's asking if we can hear the sound of our one precious life slipping away. So the real question is, what are we going to do about it? Starting right now.